Welcome back to Dragon Age Origins, everyone. This is our character, Elia. We have just gone through the Circle of Magi, and we were exploring a bit, talking with as many people as we possibly could. We'll have the opportunity to talk to some of them again, but for now, we are outside of First Enchanter Irving's, office, and we need to go talk to him because he has summoned us. It looks like he is talking with a couple other people there. One of them is Knight Commander Gregor. Both Knight Commander Gregor and First Enchanter Irving were at the beginning of our harrowing. So when we were being introduced to the harrowing experience, both of them were present, and they observed us undergoing the ritual. Now, Duncan, we haven't met yet, but he was inside of the Dragon Age Origins cutscene that occurred right before our character creation. So you'll recognize him from there. Even his voice was used quite a bit in that cutscene. Okay, so let's get this over with. Let's talk with these fools.
Many have already gone to Ostagar. Wynne, Aldred, and most of the senior mages. We've committed enough of our own to this war effort.
Your own? Since when have you felt such kinship with the mages, Gregor? Or are you afraid to let the mages out from under Chantry supervision, where they can actually use their Maker-given powers?
He talks really slow.
How dare you suggest?
Gentlemen, please. Irving, someone is here to see you.
Okay, so they were having a pretty solid conversation there. It sounds like they are trying to send mages someplace. Some of them, anyway. So apprentices don't count as full-fledged mages at the Circle yet, so they would not be eligible. However, we just underwent our harrowing, so we are a mage. So maybe we can get on board for going wherever these other mages are going. We do want to leave the Circle. And in order to do that, we're going to need to be in the good graces of this guy, Knight Commander Gregor, because we don't want to anger the Templars, knowing what they do to mages that step out of line. Also, this guy's the leader of all the mages. He has like a high-ranking position, and he's basically our spokesperson to talk with the Chantry and with the Templars. He deals with all matters of giving permission to certain mages to leave the Circle. He's allowed to leave himself from time to time, and he likely does, but all the approval stuff goes through him, and of course Gregor over here. So we want to please both of them. And also, knowing that this guy is a Grey Warden and he's looking for recruits, we can potentially leave with him as well. So there's a lot of opportunity here, and we don't want to screw it up. You sent for me?
If it isn't our new sister in the Circle. Come, child.
This is...
Yes, this is she.
Well, Irving, you're obviously busy. We will discuss this later.
Of course. Well, then, where was I? Oh, yes, this is Duncan of the Grey Wardens.
Pleased to meet you.
You've heard about the war brewing to the south, I expect. Duncan is recruiting mages to join the King's army at Ostagar.
Excellent. So can we go? I would like to defend Ferelden.
With the Darkspawn invading, we need all the help we can get, especially from the Circle.
But doesn't exactly look like that's a yes. What do you mean?
The power you mages wield is an asset to any army. Your spells are very effective against large groups of mindless Darkspawn. I fear if we don't drive them back, we may see another blight.
Duncan, you worry the poor girl with talk of blights and darkspawn. This is a happy day for her.
We live in troubled times, my friend.
We should seize moments of levity, especially in troubled times. The harrowing is behind you. Your phylactery was sent to Denerim. You are officially a mage within the circle of magi.
So we could ask what a phylactery is, but I'm not going to because I like some of these other options better. So I'll just give a quick explanation of what the phylactery is. All mages who come to the circle, when they first arrive at the circle, the Templars take a sample of blood from the mage. It doesn't matter how old the mage was when they arrived, a sample of blood is taken, and it's put in a vial and stored for safekeeping. The Templars, if you ever escape the circle, or run away from the circle, or break the rules in any way, they can use your phylactery to track you down, basically hunt you. Kind of like a bloodhound. If it catches onto your scent, it's going to know where you are, and it's going to be basically impossible to get rid of the trail. So the phylactery, regardless of where you go, will allow the Templars to track you down, which is obviously not great, and it's just another rung on the ladder of oppression for mages here. So that's exactly why we're going to say, my leash, you mean?
Now, child, it's not that bad.
I'm sorry, what is this phylactery?
Blood is taken from all apprentices when they first come to the tower, and is preserved in special vials.
So they can be hunted if they turn apostate.
We have few choices. The gift of magic is looked upon with suspicion and fear. We must prove we are strong enough to handle our power responsibly. You have done this. I present you with your robes, your staff, and a ring bearing the Circle's insignia. Wear them proudly, for you have earned them.
I don't know about wearing them proudly. Elia's not exactly excited to be a part of the Circle, but it does get her one step closer to being able to leave this tower, which is a good thing, especially since we've never even seen the outside. As you would have seen, the windows that we did see on this level, we can't go any higher in the tower than this level, and the windows that are on this level are so high up that there's no possible way to reach them. And even if we could reach them, they are those colorful church type windows. I forget what they're called, unfortunately. I'm having a brain freeze. But yeah, it's pretty hard to look through that kind of glass, even with your face pressed up right against it. So yeah. We also don't really want to anger Irving because we need him on our good. We need to be in his good graces, so we're just going to say thank you.
It goes without saying that you shall not discuss the harrowing with those who have not undergone the rite. Now then, take your time to rest, or study in the library. The day is yours.
Yeah, we want to ask this. Can I leave the tower?
Not yet. Remember, the tower's walls protect us as much as they protect others from us.
I will return to my quarters.
Would you be so kind as to escort Duncan back to his room, child?
We completely disagree with First Intent Irving here. He says that the tower is built to protect mages, as well as protects the world from mages, which is just complete BS. It's more like a prison than anything else, and for people who have done nothing wrong except for being born with the wrong abilities. Interesting, isn't it? So, but we are excited to spend some time with Duncan. Maybe we can talk to him some more and convince him to let us become a Grey Warden. It would be my pleasure.
The guest quarters are on the east side of this floor, close to the library. Now, if you'll both excuse me, I have matters to discuss with Gregor.
Okay. We don't want to be in earshot of Irving when we start talking to Duncan there. Books. It's another codex. There we go. Oh, Templar over there. We don't want to disturb him. Here might be a good spot. Even if Owain overhears, all the people in here are tranquil, so...
Thank you for walking with me. I'm glad for the company.
I wanted to talk to you a little more.
Yes? What about?
None of these really ask what we want. So how about, have there been many Darkspawn attacks?
A horde has formed within the Korkari Wilds in the south. If they are not stopped, they will strike north into the valley. We Grey Wardens believe that an archdemon is leading the horde.
So the Archdemon is basically like the leader of the Darkspawn during a time of blight. I'm not going to say too much more than that, and I don't think Elia would know much more than that anyway, even with all the books around the circle. But she would know at least a little bit about what the Archdemon is, unless she's just been neglecting her reading. And considering we've lived in this circle with nothing better to do for however many years, I imagine we would have read what an Archdemon was at some point. So yeah, basically a leader of Darkspawn, and when an Archdemon comes about, it basically herds all of the Darkspawn into an army, and they attack the world of the living, in a sense. So that sounds ominous.
Darkspawn do attack the surface in ragtag bands, but archdemons are capable of rallying the Darkspawn, turning them into an unstoppable force. A horde of Darkspawn, a veritable army. It is dire news indeed. I fear this is what we will have to face.
And the king is mustering an army to beat back this threat?
Yes, perhaps it will be enough if we play our cards right.
So why were Irving and Gregor arguing about the war?
It is not my place to comment.
Fair enough. We could persuade him, though. And we do want to know, so... yeah, let's do that.
Gregor serves the Chantry, and the relationship between the Chantry and mages has always been strained. You've realized by now that the Chantry merely tolerates magic? They watch only because they feel they must.
Is that all they were arguing about?
Any mages who join the King's army can unleash their full power on the Darkspawn. In fact, I'm counting on it. Gregor may be afraid of what will happen. What if the mages decide they no longer want to be governed by the Chantry?
Can you really blame them? And this is true, but we don't necessarily trust Duncan. He may be a Grey Warden and all, and we've heard nothing but good things about Grey Wardens, but that doesn't instill trust. So what are your opinions on the matter?
I believe we must defeat the Darkspawn, one way or another. My opinions end there.
Fair enough. We should continue on our way.
Yes, let's.
Oh, actually, I just realized that I started walking in this direction without actually looking at the map. It's because I already know where things are, but if you ever are lost or don't know where to go, you just open up your map, and you can check, and this little arrow here points you to where your active quest is telling you to go. On the screen, it will also pop up any potential quests that are available. So if there is a quest available in the area, it will appear as an exclamation point on this map.
Thank you for escorting me.
Can we talk to him anymore?
Is there something else I can do for you?
Oh, we can? Look at that. There's a lot of good questions here. What's happening outside the tower?
Ah, I imagine you don't leave very often, do you?
In fact, we never leave. And that is true, so, apprentices are not allowed to leave.
I am not a good source of news, I fear. I am preoccupied with the Darkspawn incursion.
Fair, I guess, but you could have still said something. How many mages have joined the King's army?
When the king sent out the call, the Circle of Ferelden sent only 7 mages to Ostagar. I asked King Kaelin's permission to come and seek a greater commitment from the Circle.
Only 7? We don't really know how many mages are in this circle, so maybe 7 is a lot. Like, if there's only 50 mages in the entire circle, that's a good portion of their population. But if what they're saying about the war thing, if it is a blight, then it's actually a pretty serious threat. So you'd think that we'd want to send as many mages as possible to help counteract that. Maybe not, though. Whatever. Why doesn't the king come himself?
The king must remain with the army. He is quite busy, after all.
Okay, fair. How many mages do we need?
I hope to place a mage or 2 within every contingent. I cannot do with just 7. Mages will make all the difference in this battle. The Darkspawn have their own magic, and our resources must exceed theirs.
Interesting. So, we've never seen a Darkspawn before, but when the opening trailer was playing, there were Darkspawn there. It was those creatures that the people were fighting as Duncan was talking in the background. Now, they have magic, he's saying, which is impressive. Do you think I could join the army?
I don't know. Do you?
Yes, I think I could help.
Then perhaps I shall speak to Irving about this later. Darkspawn are a greater threat than blood mages, even abominations. It takes decades for the world to recover from a blight. I wish the Chantry could see that. We must stop at nothing to defeat the Darkspawn. Listen to me. An old man's rantings can't be very interesting.
An old man? He doesn't look that old. Not super young, I guess, but not super old either. He's not Irving's age or Gregor's age. Nowhere near. Unless he's just aged really, really, really well. I kind of like this one. As an apprentice, old men talking have defined my life. However, we did find it rather interesting, so I don't know. Yeah, let's go with the old men one. As an apprentice, old men talking have defined my life.
Yes, I'm sure they did.
Oh, I thought that would end the conversation. Interesting. Have you ever seen someone use blood magic?
Once, in my youth, just after I joined the Grey Wardens. I was traveling with my mentor. We encountered a group of Templars hunting a blood mage. They were quite far away, so I cannot be sure of what I saw. He forced some of the Templars to turn on their fellows. It was dreadful to behold. He would have escaped had he not overlooked one Templar who snuck up behind him and cleaved his head in two.
Holy crow. So, blood magic apparently can overcome whatever powers the Templars have to dispel magic, which is interesting. And it kind of makes you wonder if part of that is why blood magic has been forbidden in the Circle and by the Chantry. Because if they know that blood magic can be used as a weapon against Templars by mages, it would give mages a much better chance of being able to fight back. Now, Elia would not think blood magic is evil. She just thinks it's a type of magic. She's never seen it. Hasn't really read about it either, because she's been forbidden. But she's heard things about it, and it's a fascinating subject to her. But does she wish she had the power? Yeah, kinda. But do we want to tell Duncan? I'm sure he was just trying to survive.
It is something to consider, certainly.
Do you know anything about the Tranquil?
The mages whose connection to the Fade has been severed? Why do you ask?
They lose their ability to feel emotions.
So I've heard. It keeps them and those around them safe. Perhaps the sacrifice is worthwhile. I cannot say.
Yeah, sure, why not? Can you tell me more about Grey Wardens and Darkspawn?
Certainly. I am intimately familiar with these subjects after all.
We already asked that. I guess what do Grey Wardens do?
Our duty is to battle Darkspawn wherever they appear. We are elves, humans, and dwarves united by this common purpose.
So that's actually not all of the races within our world. Our world is called Thedas. Interesting, I actually found out that Thedas stands for... It was like an acronym originally, like when the developers were creating the game. And it stands for the Dragon Age setting. And they just kind of kept it. Interesting, isn't it? Okay, so that's a weird question to ask. We're not doing that. And we already asked that. Ah, jeez. Okay, fine. I'd like to talk more, but I have duties to attend to.
Of course. Don't let me keep you.
And off we go. Oh, there's Jowan. That's creepy. Did he follow us?
I'm glad I caught up to you. Are you done talking with Irving?
Were you following me?
Does it really matter?
Yeah, it does.
I need to talk to you. Do you remember what we discussed this morning?
Okay, he's being like super creepy. Why are you whispering? It looks very suspicious.
Shh! I just want to make sure we're not overheard.
Not helping.
We should go somewhere else. I don't feel safe talking here.
I bet you don't. You seem a little on edge.
I've been troubled. I'll explain. Come with me, please. We should be safe here.
Yeah, but why is she here? You realize there's a priest right there.
Not a priest. I am merely an initiate.
Yeah, whatever. You know what? Just quickly, I want to point out that these chantry robes that she's wearing, I like the design. I don't like what they represent, but I do like the design. They're nice. They're a lot better than what I have on. I already saw her. Her name is Lily. She was praying in front of this altar earlier. I'm willing to bet this is actually the same altar, which is interesting. Hasn't even moved. Okay. Jowan, what's going on?
A few months ago, I told you that I met a girl. This is Lily.
Which is a big no-no. It's definitely forbidden. Mages in general are not supposed to have relationships in the circle. It might be different in different circles, but here, at least, they're not supposed to be super intimate with other people, particularly those who are not mages. So, yeah. My condolences, Lily.
Very funny.
What's this all about?
Remember I said that I didn't think they wanted to give me my harrowing? I know why. They're going to make me tranquil. They'll take everything that I am from me. My dreams, hopes, fears, my love for Lily. All gone.
It does sound terrible, for sure. And I imagine we can sympathize with that, but more importantly, what did he do to make them think he needs to become tranquil? He hasn't said anything about that. What does this have to do with me?
I need to escape. I need to destroy my phylactery. Without it, they can't track me down. We need your help. Lily and I can't do this on our own.
Give us your word that you will help, and we will tell you what we intend.
So they're already in trouble as is, but they want us to risk our lives helping them. And also keep in mind that First Enchanter Irving's already said that our phylactery has already been transferred to another place. So even if we were going to help them, all we'd be doing is helping Jowan. So he'd be able to break his phylactery and potentially escape the circle without being tracked, but our phylactery would still be around, and we've just committed a big criminal act. So not only do we need to escape the circle, somehow get past all the Templars, but we'd, on top of that, need to keep on the run, knowing that the Templars can find us no matter where we go. So Elia is super not interested in helping them right now, because it's not in her interest at all. Yeah, let's ask this, because maybe they have a better plan. What do I get out of helping you?
The joy of helping a friend? The satisfaction of knowing you prevented a gross injustice?
Sorry?
The repository holds more than phylacteries. Join us, and the artifacts will be yours for the taking.
Aren't you sick and tired of the circle running your life? You could get out of here with us.
So they're offering the satisfaction of helping a person that we didn't like in the first place, and stealing, which is another crime. Awesome. Thanks for the advice, but no. This is true.
You'll be out of here and gone before they can even dispatch a messenger to the city. You're talented and clever. You could take your phylactery back from your hunters if you wish. You have so much power. Once you're free, they wouldn't be able to stop you.
So we could give him our word and help him out here. He sounds desperate, but we're not going to do that. what we want to do is see if there's other options. Maybe we can talk to First Enchanter Irving or Knight Commander Gregor and get them on our good side if we tell them about this. Now, it is betraying somebody who is considered our friend, I suppose, but he's an annoyance, and he's asking us to do some pretty severe stuff without any care for what happens to us. All he cares about is getting out of becoming tranquil and getting away with his friend here. I need to think this over.
I suppose that's fair. But please, give us your answers soon. Time is running out.
Okay. Yeah. So that little arrow that's above Jowan's head there, I can't see it from here. Okay. Yeah, there. That arrow just shows that we can go back and talk to him anytime. Oh, there's a quest over here. Let's do this first, maybe. See what she wants.
Yes?
Who are you?
Senior Enchanter, Leora, in charge of the Circle's laboratory. Is there something you want?
I thought there was something you wanted. What's that door over there?
That leads to the Circle's cavern storerooms. There are caves running through the rock that the Circle is built upon. But of course, you know this.
Can I look inside?
No, I can't let anyone in there just now.
Oh, that sounds suspicious. Why?
There are just things in there that I would prefer to keep safe.
Things, huh? What things?
Sensitive magical materials and substances, of course. I am in the midst of stock taking, checking inventory, and I can't let anyone in there in case they mess things up. Yes.
Yeah, you're not helping your case. So why are you out here and not in there?
Because I am taking a break. I hate the musty smell of caves, and Look, I'll tell you the truth. Just keep it to yourself. There is an infestation of spiders in the caves. I don't know how they got in there, but it's probably my fault. I was promoted to Senior Enchanter less than a fortnight ago, and I don't want anyone to find out. They'll think I'm incompetent.
Well, are you?
I hope not. I mean, no. I'm a good mage. I've just been so busy with my new duties, I haven't had time to clear out the infestation.
Even though your duties include keeping an eye on the storage area where these spiders are. All we've seen her be doing is fiddling around with these books on the table. But maybe that has something to do with her job. Who knows? I suppose I could be up for some spider killing.
If you cleared them out for me, I would owe you a favor. Ooh. A big one.
Excellent. So, a big favor. Can we get more out of that? Is that all?
I really have nothing to offer you. There are things in the storerooms, of course, but I'm not at liberty to just give them away.
Alright, I'll do it.
Wonderful. Here is the key. Oh, and be careful in there. I'd really like to keep the damage done to the Circle's property to a minimum.
So, if we succeed at this, she owes us a favor, which is a good thing.
As you say.
Yeah, we'll clear this out, do this. I don't remember it being super huge, so we'll finish this, turn in the quest, and then I think we'll call it from there. This is our first dungeon crawl for the most part. The Fade counts as a little mini dungeon, I suppose, but it's a completely different experience when you're in there, so this is our first actual dungeon, and we're literally in a dungeon cave, so yeah. So all we have to do is go around and kill spiders. really, really, really big spiders, apparently. Wait, don't we have, like, a staff? I'm pretty sure we do. Yeah, we do. I'm gonna use the 2 spell power because it actually does more damage. Even though magic is our main stat. It doesn't do a lot more damage, but it does do more damage. See? You can see the damage output right at the bottom there. Bottom left. So. Yeah, I think that's good. Okay. Loot. Loot is always good. So that blue potion that I picked up, it's a Illyrium potion, and as a mage, that's going to come in super handy later on in the game. Once we start fighting bigger enemies.
Of course. We'll be done.
Yeah, these are some super huge spiders. That would be incredibly freaky.
Very well.
In real life.
Now you stop.
I've never seen. I mean, I don't think anyone has seen a spider even close to that size, but there are some pretty big spiders out there. The biggest one that I've seen, it was probably twice the size of my hand, including its leg reach, of course. So if you have a regular average sized laptop, not one of the mini laptops, an average sized laptop, and you have it closed, I was about that size, and it was on the wall of a bathroom that I was in while I was on a trip to China. It was super huge and pretty freaky.
There is no hope for you now.
If I'm not mistaken, that size of spider is actually fairly common over in China. And other places, of course, but the one I saw was in China. Oh, this is not good. Get off!
It will be done. Very well.
The explosion is pretty small. It looks like it only goes in a radius of like one circle around the target, so...
It will be done.
That being the case, we'll have to be careful about where we put those bombs. Yeah, we're almost all the way through here, so we'll be finished pretty quickly here.
Yes. Oh!
Yeah, that worked. So, got one circle.
Of course.
Could have got a different like area of effect attack AoE. I could have got a different one, but I like the walking bomb, so that's why I have that.
What strange beasts?
I doubt there's many more spiders in here, just because we're getting close to the end, but anywho, okay, so these potions, the blue ones, they increase our mana if we ever get low. So that's this blue bar on our character. If it ever gets too low, we won't be able to cast any more spells. So if you have some of these, you can put them on your action bar or wherever. If you're playing like on an Xbox or a PlayStation, it's a bit different. There's like a specific slot for them, I think. But you should still be able to put them on an action bar. It's just you have a lot less of an action bar when you're playing with the Xbox, or so you'd want to use those on your skills primarily. Particularly once you get further into the game and you actually have more skills to work with. But yeah, they can come in really useful. Tell her we're done.
You're back! Are the spiders gone?
They sure are. I dealt with your infestation.
Really? Oh, that's wonderful. You've saved my hide, I'm sure. And I owe you a favor, so if you need anything, I'll be here.
Alright, keeping the crawlies away.
Exactly. I'll be here, keeping the crawlies away.
I like that. Okay, and we are done. So I'm gonna call the video off for now, and then we'll continue from here next time. Take care.